Developers of a massive high-voltage transmission line are answering questions for the first time tonight after their plans caught many across southern Wisconsin off guard.
Mid-Continent Grid Solutions held open houses in Richland and Crawford counties to address concerns.
Our Nicole Herzog was at the open house in Richland Center today, and she joins us live in studio tonight. Nicole, you talked to some folks today who say this project is moving way too quickly, right?
Right. Many say they just discovered the transmission line would run right through their land, prompting fears about safety. But developers say they want to hear those concerns while defending the project's benefits.
These are small farms. In many cases, our neighbors are small farmers, and they will be greatly impacted.
For Mark and Charity Peters, plans for the Becky project came as a shock. The project would include an approximately 190-mile, 765-kilovolt transmission line from Crawford County to the Wisconsin-Illinois border.
Imagining something like that cutting right through the heart of the Driftless is a blight. I think the people here, it's like stepping in a swarm of ground bees. We're just finding out about it, and we're coming out trying to learn as we are what's going on. Does it affect our property?
Potential health and environmental impacts are drawing significant concerns. A group opposing the project called No 765 Line is trying to bring those issues to the forefront.
This is an out-of-state developer. People who are here don't live here. They don't understand what's happening and how this impacts multi-generation farms, precious organic soil, farmland, animals, people's homes. They don't get it.
So we can reliably improve Wisconsin's electric grid and minimize impact on the ground.
Brian Rade, Director of Community Engagement with Mid-Continent Grid Solutions, says the technology isn't new and safety isn't a problem either.
So there have been thousands of studies over the last 50 years that we can safely build this technology. It's been safely implemented across the country since the 1960s. And we're going to build this to the highest possible safety standards.
Taxpayer dollars are another concern.
The project costs $1.2 billion, but the benefits exceed the cost by 1.8 to 3.5 times.
Rade says the line is necessary to strengthen the regional electric grid and maintain reliable service as demand for electricity grows.
It's really necessary to make sure that when you flip the switch, the lights come on.
But as the project is still in its early phases, many still aren't convinced.
I'd like to see more transparency.
The project is still being discussed, and open houses will also be held in Sauk and Columbia counties tomorrow. We'll have that information on our website. For now, live in studio, Nicole Herzog, WMTV 15 News.
Nicole, thank you. The Becky project hasn't been proposed to Wisconsin regulators yet, meaning the final transmission routes have not been approved. The deadline for the public to submit feedback and comments on study areas is coming up September 7th.